Go ahead. What's up, Brandon?
Coach, most balanced game we've seen all season by far. What stands out like at this moment right now when you think about this performance?
You want my honest opinion? We gave up 39 points, and that's terrible. I'm glad we won, but you can't give up 400 yards and expect to win many games. Now, we didn't give up any long touchdown passes. The last touchdown pass is situational football. We were trying. The idea was up 49 to 32, whatever it was, to not let them score quick. Obviously, tackle them, keep them in bounds, and then we get down to the red zone. We're going to start calling some man coverage, and we played man coverage on that play like we did in the first half, where we were playing soft in coverage and we couldn't really tackle them when we would hit them because they had no idea how to protect the quarterback, obviously. But what they did in the first half is we were playing too soft in coverage, and we were having a hard time tackling them when they were catching it because we were so soft. And those plays that should be 5 and 6 yard gains turn into 10 to 12 yard gains. Our offense, the balance part of it, our offense kept us in the game because it could have gotten ugly early. We have the bad punt, we give up the first touchdown drive, then we had the bad punt, we give up another drive, and handling adversity. Obviously, we've gotten better at that because when we got down by 10 a couple times, it could have gotten really ugly at that point. And then we get so far down, we fight to come back, but we come up short. They never wavered. Now, I told them in the locker room after the game, I'm not retracting from my statement 3 weeks ago after the Utah State game that we were a terrible football team. We still aren't very good, but we've made improvement. And we have a competitive fighting spirit. And when you have that, you've got a chance every week. Now, we had a chance to win every ball game this year except for the Air Force game. And as lopsided as that game was, 28-0, we actually had a chance to win it if we could put the dang ball in the end zone like we did tonight when you give them the ball inside the 34 times. So I think we were picked last in the Mountain West. Well, we didn't finish last because there's a few teams that only have one win. Okay. I said we won't be picked around here last for long. They might pick us last next year, but I promise you we won't finish last. We have a competitive spirit that gives us the opportunity to knock down doors, and we've got a lot of doors to knock down. Frank mentioned a couple of them, the back-to-back wins, trailing in the fourth quarter. If as long as there's a second on the clock, you always have a fighting chance. It doesn't matter what quarter it is or who has the lead. And I think over the last 2 weeks, they stopped worrying about the scoreboard. They worried about being the most physical team, the team that played the hardest, the longest, and they made more plays tonight, so we won the ball game.
What stands out about tonight's offense?
The demeanor of how they played. Very physical, very aggressive. And then Isaiah made some big plays, both with his feet. Now, he threw the ball successfully, and I give him a hard time on the sideline. They sure weren't pretty throws, but all that matters is they got from point A to point B, and a couple of them were touchdowns. So, I mean, the young man is a composed. He's a winner. Obviously, he had a really good career in high school. And I think when you have that kind of demeanor at that position, it obviously helps the rest of the guys. And he's a confident young man. I'd like you to find another college football team in America that started their fifth string walk-on quarterback, true freshman, and they won their last 2 ball games with him. I mean, you got to give him a lot of credit. Go ahead, Will.
Danny, is there any truth to the rumor that you guys are just going to come back to Albuquerque, grab all your stuff, and just move back to Las Vegas permanently now? You're on a roll.
You know what? No. We're going back to see our families. We're going back to Albuquerque where we belong with all the great people in Albuquerque and the state of New Mexico. Now, I think we've represented New Mexico well the last 2 weeks, and I think you have to give credit to President Stokes and Eddie and David and our entire organization, but the administration for willing to step out there and put their neck out there for us to have the opportunity to compete. Because in my true heart of hearts, I think we showed college football how college football could have been done successfully if everybody would have done what we did in their own city. And you can help your local community. You could have been spending a lot of money with local hotels, restaurants, keep COVID off the streets, keep COVID off your football team, stop games from being canceled. I think the bubble that we created is a true bubble. And now I guess this might be a little, I don't know if the right word is hypocritical, but when we were in Albuquerque and we were doing the things that we were doing, and I was talking about our bubble, well, obviously it wasn't really a bubble, it was a bubble, and a lot of the coaches are having the same problem around the country. You know what they're doing when they're in your facility, and you know how safe they are when they're doing things under your control. But when they leave it, you don't control it anymore. Well, I've got control of them 24 hours a day, the way we did this. And we obviously shut out COVID from the time we got here. We got our last results today. Now we're going to test tomorrow morning so that we know that everybody's safe when we get back to Albuquerque, because we're all about keeping our community safe, and we've done it the right way. And so I think it speaks volumes, but we belong in Albuquerque. We're the University of New Mexico Lobos, and it's where we belong. Go ahead there, Jared.
Coach, obviously watching that game, it seemed a little reminiscent of you guys back with Rocky Long. I mean, I know you said you still got a ways to go, but talk about the foundation. I know you talked about it. Do you think you're a step in the right direction? And at some point, did it feel like, those Rocky teams of old, especially on defense there at the end of the game?
I think our competitiveness and the willing to do whatever it takes is coming back to what we had when we were here before. The demeanor on the sideline, the physical nature. I thought we were definitely the most physical team. I don't even think that was close tonight. We were knocking them off the ball up front on both sides. Now we need to make a lot more plays in the secondary. The 84-yard touchdown run or 86-yard touchdown run. We should have two safeties getting that ball game, that guy on the ground for about a 3-yard gain. And those kind of things we've got to fix. Those kind of things are the Coach Long and Coach G defenses that we don't make those mistakes. And giving up 39 points, obviously, but their spirit, yes, I do believe it's kind of reminiscence of that, and that excites me because we've obviously got a lot of doors to knock down to do the things that we want to do and win a championship, but we've knocked a couple of them down. And I promise you this, including Las Vegas, all those people that make those odds, nobody gave the Lobos a chance tonight with Isaiah Chavis at quarterback. And the 90-some guys on our team that are here in Las Vegas and all of our organization, I don't think they thought for 1 minute we weren't going to win, even when we were down by 10. And when you have that going for you, that belief, it makes not a very good football team have a chance. And, I mean, I'm proud that they're starting to take on that personality. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Danny, congrats. I mean, how did you guys win a shootout? I mean, how did this happen? Were you guys confident you could move the ball as well going into tonight?
Well, if you would have told me that we were going to score 49 points, I might have put some money on that the other way. I guess I'm not allowed to put money on that because that's against the rules. But, I mean, give Coach Wareheim and the offensive staff a lot of credit because they put a great game plan together. But players win games. And those guys executed the plays that Coach Wareheim was calling. Isaiah is obviously a tough kid that led them the right way. And I think we took their will towards the end of it, and we got a couple of those touchdowns on long runs and knocked them off the ball. And give the players all the credit because players win games. Go ahead, Jared.
Obviously you're talking Isaiah and stuff, but talk about Bobby Cole. Gosh, he looked really solid tonight. Talk about the player he was tonight, just overall too. Physical.
They have a hard time tackling him, and I think him and Nate and Bryson there at the end, I mean, they have great vision. If they were a hair faster, some of those 8 and 10 yard gains would be 50-yard touchdowns. But they're so physical; those guys have a hard time blocking them, and they keep a lot of plays and a lot of drives going because they can get first downs on long runs. And now we were pretty aggressive in the second half. I think Coach Wareheim had the information of, we got down around midfield. I told him, man, you got 2 plays to get the first down. And as a play caller, when you've got a 3rd and 8 and you know you've got 2 plays, you can call a power run on 3rd and 8 and know you're going to set up a 4th down call, a 4th and 3. And those 3rd and 8s, when they're playing for you, most likely going to throw the ball. All of a sudden you get a first down on a 3rd and 8 running the ball. And so I thought they executed those plays to set themselves up. And then we just Bobby and Nate ran the ball really hard. But Bobby Cole, you have to give him a lot of credit. And I said it about 3 weeks ago in our special team meeting. He's on kickoff. He's not on the other 3. But anytime Coach Christian asks a question in the special teams meeting, Bobby Cole's the first one to speak up. He knows what everybody does on all those. So it just shows you how in tune he is. And he plays football the right way. He's a physical monster in there, and he plays it the way that we want to play football. Go ahead there, Van.
Coach, going forward, the players really responded under Isaiah's leadership at quarterback. You're going to have a pretty competitive quarterback race coming up, aren't you?
We're going to have a heck of a quarterback race. And I told Isaiah that. I said, man, you know what you've done tonight? You've made the entire city of Albuquerque, the city of Rio Rancho, and the state of Mexico jump on your bandwagon. And that's awesome. Good for him. Because if we've got somebody that can push him to be better, then that makes our football program better. So right now, he's won more starting games at quarterback. He's 2-0. And shoot, Isaiah Chavis is undefeated in December at the Division I football level. That's a pretty good stat. You don't hear that very often when you can say that in college football. So you're exactly right. And you know what? He's a hometown kid. So let's see what he can do.
And as far as going forward again, talking about next season, how much does the way you guys ended, how much does this propel what you're trying to do for this team into next year?
I think it does a lot. One, obviously the locker room the last 2 weeks has been fun. I think you have to celebrate the seniors that played today because not all of them are coming back. Some of them are coming back. Some of them might go play somewhere else. Some of them might just retire their football careers. Some of them will come back and join another year. But we celebrated them all as if this was their very last game. Because most of the time, football ends on football's terms. It doesn't end on yours. And the adrenaline rush of playing a Division I sport, a competitive, organized sport, once that's gone, that adrenaline rush is better than any drug out there, especially when you win and you can celebrate in the locker room like that. So there was 24 seniors out there tonight that the last memory that some of them are going to ever have playing football is going to be beating Fresno 49-39, enjoying the locker room the way we did, and they'll never forget that. I think that propels into the offseason for the guys that are coming back. We're coming off of a high note. We've got a long way to go. I don't want anybody to misinterpret that we're all of a sudden a great football team. We're setting a foundation, and we get to go into January and with the different setup of lifting and all those things before spring ball, and then having another 6-week or 8-week period in the weight room because we are a very weak football team. And being in Las Vegas here, having dumbbells and stretchy bands for your weight room didn't help us at all. And so we have to get a lot stronger, but we'll have some momentum going into that. And then we talk about all the doors we've had to knock down, and we've got a lot more doors in front of us that we'll continue to beat on until we knock them down. But I think it gives us some momentum going into the offseason. And the other thing it does, Van, in my true opinion, it gets the city of Albuquerque excited about Lobo football. Yeah. I think that's really important. And 2 wins when we started 0-5, but all of a sudden we got a little momentum and people are starting to see the progress we've made and kind of believing in, you know what, we can become a special football program. We can be what everybody talks about. And I think that's as important as anything because when I took the job, I said it's going to take everybody. If we want to win a championship and we want to be a big-time football team and a big-time football program and a big-time football community, it's going to take everybody. And I think it gives them a little bit of juice as well. So I think it was really important. Go ahead, Jared.
Coach, so when I talked to a few of the seniors prior to this game, they said that they were proud to finish out their collegiate career under your guys' regime and the start of new Lobo football. They also said that they were going to be, kind of when players come in, that they're going to be, players going to look at them, future players saying like, oh, this is how they do things. Would you attribute to that, saying this is a good starting point for the new kids to come in and say, hey, this is how they do things, especially with the senior class, you know what I'm saying?
There's no doubt. And I think this transformation that we've made from the day we got here in Las Vegas to today, I mean, to be early is to be on time. And I've been saying that, and we can go all the way back to the meeting when our starting quarterback showed up 2 minutes late. We had a wellness check this morning. Everybody had to be down by 9 o'clock before breakfast, and then we head over to the stadium. Everybody on the travel squad was down eating breakfast by 8:13. We had pregame meal today at 4:15. Pregame meal started at 4:02 because we had just finished chapel. That right there, they're starting to understand that to be early is to be on time. And that comes from the seniors, because when they're getting after guys to be on time and to be early and to do things the right way, you got a chance. When they're not invested and they're not the ones that are pushing it, when it's only the coaches, it's really hard to be successful that way, because the coaches don't get to play on the field, and you need that leadership to transform onto the field. So we've made a lot of progress in that. Some of the ones that didn't believe in that or didn't agree, they're no longer in Las Vegas. So I think there's some really positive strides that we've made towards that that'll help going into the offseason. I think it's really important. Go ahead, Will.
Will, this will be the last one because I want to get the guys going too.
All right, Nate, Danny, Wednesday's the 1 year anniversary that you were announced as a coach. And I know it's still early, probably haven't had much time to digest what happened, but I mean, can you reflect at all on your first year? And because I asked you Wednesday if you thought this, if you could categorize this year as a success, and you actually said no, but I mean, has it been a success? Did things go like you thought they might?
I mean, anytime you finish 2-5, I don't think you can consider that a successful season. But the marathon, not a sprint, that I say constantly, and I got that from Coach Francione, by the way. I don't want to take any credit for it. And I got a text message from him last Saturday about how proud he was of me for going in the direction we're going, and being able to vent to some of my mentors has been really helpful. But we're having success in setting the foundation for what it's going to take to turn this program around. This year has been pretty wild. You take a job that you think you're prepared for, and everybody, I mean, Coach Long has said it for a long time. I mean, you think you know what you're doing going in to be a head coach, and you have no idea. And I'm very thankful that he's here with me. Now, when I go in there and vent to him, he just laughs and says, Coach G, we're going to do whatever you say we're going to do. I'm glad that it's you, not me. But he never says that. He always gives me advice. And, I mean, that's been very valuable to me. The one thing I have over him right now is he never had to deal with a global pandemic as a football coach. No less the first year of being a head football coach. And I want to take credit, but you have to give credit to President Stokes and Eddie and David. We did it the right way. Little old New Mexico did it the right way. And we don't have any COVID cases on our team since we've created this bubble. And we didn't lose any money doing it, by the way. I want everybody to know that. We made money doing this. So I'm really proud of that. And I think our administration, I'm going to try and get it out there as much as I can, they deserve credit because they're committed to building a winning football program, and they showed it by stepping up the way they did. I know, Steve, you had one more. I'll give Frank just a second. I know you had one more. Go ahead, Steve.
I appreciate it, Danny. At what point does Isaiah become a scholarship player, or is that a carrot you're going to dangle in front of him?
Those deals are all number issues. I tell those guys if they become our starters and they prove that they're the best one, they're going to be put on scholarship. With initials and with all those things, some of those things take precedent. But Isaiah Chavis deserves to be on scholarship. So when he gets his scholarship, I can tell him that you deserve the credit. So
Don't do that.
he obviously has proved that he can play, and I'm proud of him. And if you become a starter and you prove heck, you won 2 games, he probably deserves one right now. That's a numbers deal, but good for him. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you this year. We're coming up on the Christmas season, so have a blessed holiday with your families. Stay safe. Stay away from coronavirus the best you can. We did. We'll continue to the best we can. I appreciate working with you guys. I appreciate all you guys do for Lobo football because you really do a lot more than you have any idea. And you help just as much as everybody. I know you guys aren't allowed to cheer and you're not allowed to be homers, but I know you guys are wanting us to win because it makes your jobs easier. Okay? It's going to take everybody. So congratulations to all you guys on winning these games too, because if you're all involved in our program like I want you to be, it becomes pretty special. So thanks. Go Lobos.